Top 10 Funniest NFL Celebrations of All Time. Did you know the NFL once fined a player for pretending to pull a cell phone from the goalpost? Yeah, the No Fun League wasn't always a fan of celebrations. But what if I told you that some of the wildest, weirdest, and straight-up funniest touchdown dances actually changed the game? From twerking in the end zone to choreographed group dances, these moments had fans cheering and critics fuming. Let's dive into the top 10 funniest NFL celebrations of all time. Number 10. Leroy Butler's Lambeau Leap, Green Bay Packers, 1993. Let's kick things off with a celebration that's more legendary than laugh-out-loud funny. The birth of the iconic Lambeau Leap. To this day, watching a 250-pound athlete dive into the wall of cheering fans. Number 9. Brandon Jacobs' Fake Lambeau Leap, New York Giants, 2007. This is where things get a little cheeky. It was the bitter cold of the 2007 NFC Championship at Lambeau Field. Temperatures were brutal, the stakes were high, and tensions were running even higher. But that didn't stop Giants running back Brandon Jacobs from injecting a little humor into the pressure cooker. After muscling his way into the end zone, Jacobs sprinted toward the stands like he was about to pull off a Lambeau Leap, the kind that Packers players had made famous for years. Fans leaned forward, hands outstretched, thinking they were about to witness a true act of NFL blasphemy. But Jacobs stopped short, grinning. No leap, just a good-natured fake-out. The crowd, stunned at first, quickly went from booing to bursting into laughter. It was unexpected, a little petty, and totally hilarious. A moment of levity in a game full of tension. And honestly, it was kind of a playful payback, with a smirk instead. Sure, the fake leap didn't win any official celebration points, but it won over a few frozen hearts. In a game of grit and rivalry, Jacobs gave fans a reminder that football can still be fun. Number 8. Jamal Anderson's Dirty Bird Dance, Atlanta Falcons, 1998. Alright, let's talk about one of the funniest and most downright iconic end zone celebrations in NFL history, the Dirty Bird. It all started back in 1998, during one of the Atlanta Falcons' most exciting seasons. The team was on a serious playoff run, and running back Jamal Anderson decided to spice things up after hitting pay dirt. Instead of just spiking the ball or raising his arms, Anderson busted out a move that looked like a mix between a dance and a chicken having a seizure. Arms bent, elbows flapping, head bobbing. It was absurd. It was amazing. It was the Dirty Bird. What made it even better? He didn't do it alone. Soon, teammates like Terrence Mathis and Tony Martin were joining the party, flapping their elbows in perfect unison. The Georgia Dome exploded every time. It wasn't just a celebration, it became a full-blown cultural moment. It became a symbol of Atlanta's swagger and unity. Even years later, when Michael Vick hit the scene, he'd break out the Dirty Bird to honor that golden era. And let's be honest, watching grown NFL players flap around like oversized birds? Pure comedy. It was over the top, a little ridiculous, but totally unforgettable. Silly? Yes. Legendary? Without a doubt. Number 7. Chad Ochocinco's Sombrero Finale, Cincinnati Bengals, 2009. Chad Ochocinco Johnson set the standard for touchdown celebrations. He turned the end zone into a stage. One of his more daring exploits came during a 2009 game versus the Lions. After scoring, he nonchalantly jogged to the sideline, donned a large imitation sombrero and poncho, and performed a brief dance. This was all it took to create headlines and incur a $30,000 fine. The cameras liked it, the fans howled, and Chad? He didn't care. I play to have fun, he explained with a shrug. And fun was exactly what he brought. The sombrero moment was just one of many. He performed a river dance, appeared to bribe officials, and even insulted Tom Brady by swinging a... But what about the sombrero jig? It was daring, strange, and unforgettable. A great example of Ochocinco's hilarious genius. Nobody knew what he was going to do next, and that was the magic. Number 6. Stephen Tulloch's Tebow celebration, Detroit Lions 2012. Now this is one for the petty playbook. Lions linebacker Stephen Tulloch refused to dance after his team fired Tim Tebow in 2012. He did not spike the ball. Instead, he fell to one knee and struck a full-fledged Tebow position. Hands clasped and head bent, just like the Broncos quarterback used to do following huge plays. It was a mix of imitation and mocking, and fans quickly divided into two camps, those who laughed and those who clutched their pearls. ESPN even said Tulloch did a little Tebowing of his own, and the video quickly went viral. Some considered it disrespectful. Some called it brilliant. Regardless, it was hilarious. Tulloch utilized Tebow's own action as a punchline. And how did he time it? Flawless. It wasn't glamorous, but it was daring. And it made a more powerful message than any dance could have. Proof that in the NFL, a simple stance may convey more than a celebration. Number 5. Stevie Johnson's Plaxico Tribute, Buffalo Bills 2011. Oh, this one was wild. In 2011, Bills wide receiver Stevie Johnson scored a touchdown against the Jets. And instead of doing a typical dance, he went straight for shock value. He pretended to shoot himself in the leg, a not-so-subtle jab at Jets receiver Plaxico Burress, who famously did that in real life back in 2008. And just when you thought it was over, Stevie mimicked Santonio Holmes' signature fall, adding an extra layer of Jets trolling. The result? A 15-yard penalty, a $10,000 fine, and absolute chaos on the field. Johnson later admitted it was, quote, stupid and hurt the team. But fans? They were floored. Some were stunned, and others couldn't stop laughing. It was dark, over the top, and unforgettable. Twitter exploded. Sports talk shows couldn't get enough. Like him or not, Stevie Johnson locked in his spot as one of the NFL's most creative and unpredictable touchdown artists ever. Number 4. Justin Jefferson's Gritty Dance, Minnesota Vikings 2021. Okay, now let's talk about one of the most popular dances in today's NFL, the Gritty. When Vikings standout Justin Jefferson scored his first touchdown in 2020, he didn't simply spike the ball. Nope, he performed a quirky little heel tap routine, swinging his arms and flashing those OK signals over his eyes. It was smooth, strange, and instantly recognizable. By 2021, the Gritty was ubiquitous.
Live who like to do the Gritty too. We're going to have you rate the Gritty. So this is what we call grading the Gritty.
ESPN even said that it was introduced to Fortnite because Jefferson made it so popular. The dance was not his idea. It was created by a high school student named Alan Gritty Davis, but Jefferson took it to the big stage and made it boom. What makes it fun? This isn't just a one-time gag. Every time Jefferson scores, half of the squad joins in. It's goofy, confident, and honestly, enjoyable. Jefferson's passion, and a little help from TikTok, transformed the Gritty from a touchdown dance to a full-fledged cultural phenomenon. Number 3. Terrell Owens on the Dallas Star, San Francisco 49ers 2000. Oh, this one was complete mayhem. Terrell Owens, who was already a master of flair, elevated touchdown celebrations to new heights in 2000. After scoring for the 49ers against the Cowboys, he dashed to the center of the field and posed directly in front of the massive Dallas Star. Bold? Absolutely. Disrespectful? Totally. Hilarious? No doubt. And get this, he did it more than once. He scored again and again. The second time around, Cowboys players had had enough and rushed him, resulting in a sideline brawl. Fans were stunned. Commentators lost it. What about Owens? He appeared unconcerned, as if he had just executed the ultimate power move. Years later, he repeated the feat as a Cowboys player, adding to the mythology. NFL Films named it one of the greatest end zone celebrations ever, and it's simple to see why. Running the entire length of the field to taunt a competitor on their own turf? That's T.O. in a nutshell. Loud, proud, and memorable. Number 2. Mason Crosby's long-awaited leap, Green Bay Packers 2019. This is most likely a surprise celebration. Let's talk about Mason Crosby's first Lambeau leap, which took him 13 seasons to complete. It was 2019, and the Packers were playing a nail-biter versus the Lions. Crosby hit a game-winning field goal with seconds left on the clock. Normally, he would jog off the field, as if it were just another day at work. Well, what about this time? The guy unleashed free. With the clock at 0, he turned, received a small lift from his long snapper, and jumped into the arms of Packers fans. It was his first Lambeau leap, and the reaction was spectacular. His teammates were howling. The fans loved it, and CBS made it clear. It took Mason Crosby 13 seasons to perform his first Lambeau leap. That's a milestone in the most delightfully odd sense. What's the best part? Crosby grinned. This wasn't a big over-the-top party. It was humble, touching, and simply hilarious. Watching a stoic kicker in his mid-30s finally join the crowd like one of the guys? Priceless. It was not flashy. It was not intended. However, it was pure Lambeau magic, and unquestionably one of the most surprisingly humorous celebrations in recent memory. It's better late than never, Mason. Number 1. Joe Horn's cell phone call. New Orleans Saints, 2003. Okay, now let's talk about the best celebration of all. Joe Horn's legendary cell phone call. The Saints were on fire on Monday Night Football in 2003. Joe Horn scores a touchdown, and then, out of nowhere, he takes out his flip phone. Yes, an actual old-school flip phone is nestled under the goalpost padding. He raises it up to his ear, as if he were making a call. But here's the twist. This wasn't simply a joke. He'd promised a kid that if he scored, he'd call. So on national television, Horn made the call. "Big Horn, are you ready? I'll call you," he replies, smiling. The fans and the media couldn't believe it. Bonnie Bernstein described it as one of the most unforgettable TV moments in football. Sure, the NFL penalized him $30,000, but who really cares? That moment was an instant classic. It was funny, unexpected, and oddly enough, sweet. And that's what makes these celebrations so unique. Whether it's the Lambeau leap, a phone call, or a silly dance, they add some excitement to the game. They connect players with fans, highlight their personalities, and provide us with unforgettable experiences. It's no surprise that we continue to watch them. They're simply too good not to giggle at. And there you have it. 10 of the funniest, boldest, and most unforgettable NFL celebrations of all time. Whether it was a cheeky troll, a dance that launched a TikTok craze, or a leap into legend, each moment reminded us that football isn't just about brute force, it's about flair, fun, and a little bit of chaos. So next time somebody calls it the No Fun League, just point them to this list. Because when the end zone becomes a stage, the NFL gets hilarious.